And we're rolling. Where are we at? There we are. Hi, I'm Ron. Welcome to my lunch break video. Kind of beautiful outside. Check that out. That shit pretty. It's better that it's going to be melting here pretty soon. Because I'm the guy who shovels it. So, no snow. Still get paid, but don't have to deal with frostbite. Anyhow, thankful to have a job. Not a problem. But on today's lunch break video, I'm going to be talking about Joe Rogan, Jesus, and DMT. What do these three things have in common? Not much. Well, Joe Rogan and DMT, he likes doing that. He likes doing drugs. He's a comedian. He's a funny guy. I'm not hating Joe. It's just he's about drugs and DMT in particular. And theologically, he's a comedian, and not that to say that comedians can't be experts in theology, but I've watched Joe a lot, and he pretty much says Jesus is not the truth, the life, and the way. There are other ways to God, even if there is a God, and his ideas of God are more of a Buddhist bend. And so the reason I'm doing this video, so if you're a Christian and you're thinking about doing DMT because you've seen Joe Rogan, don't do it. You are dealing with a drug that is on the opposite end of the teeter-totter of Jesus. And Joe espouses, and a lot of other people experience as well, that there's a unity, a singularity. You do this drug and it immediately takes you through some sort of weird anxiety and ego death. That's a lie, because your ego never dies. And then you go into this unity and singularity, and it's more real than real. Now, I've done the other hallucinogenics, LSD, other stuff. So it's not that one drug is any better than any other. I mean, if it's hallucinogenic, it's hallucinogenic. So you're going into this other experience, and you're pretty much saying, hey, I'm meeting God. Now, you're meeting at times, not always, but sometimes you're meeting spiritual entities. And for the most part, you're meeting Satan. Sorry. Now, Satan can be a good host when he wants to trick you. And what I mean by that is anything that takes you away from Jesus, that's Satan. Sorry. So here it is. You do the drugs, especially if you're a weak Christian. And what I mean by that is you're not sure about your faith. You don't know about Jesus. You don't understand your need for him. You don't understand the real interaction that you can have with him. And you might not have had much of an interaction with him, though you've gone to church maybe most of your life, or you're raised in a household that believed in Jesus, but you don't have a relationship with him. That's not a problem. The problem is you start doing these drugs, they're going to lead you towards something else that will have you absolutely deny Jesus and affirm something else. And then what happens is that you will get, not automatically, excuse me, there's an alarm going off here. Go away. Not automatically you're going to get possessed, but there are often times when people even talk about it. Dakota of the Earth and your mate Tom. I watch these guys. They know there's evil out there, and they know that there's possession out there, that you can meet an evil entity and it can get stuck to you in your energy. And that's just simply possession. So you start doing these drugs because you're thinking, ooh, I'm going to meet God. Like there's a shortcut. God's like, really? No. The cross is, there is one bridge between us and God. It's in faith through Jesus. You get to know God by his Spirit. It can be work in that, well, it can be work because you give your heart to Jesus, and not automatically do you feel ooh, ah, and all kinds of zooms and zings in your mind and heart, whereas the DMT and other drugs, you do because you don't have to work at it. But with Jesus in faith, when you come to him, there's a living, real relationship. It's like when you get to know someone, it can take time. But like in a marriage, there can be such a deep and profound relationship that you might have started off as strangers, but at the end of your lives, you're like one person, and it's really fun, and you enjoy them, and that's God. That's Jesus. DMT's and other theologies, they're not going to take you down that road. They will take you away from Jesus. And then when we die, there is that whole eternal, like, Jesus is going to be like, okay, you didn't like me back then, so now you can go. That's a problem. Don't want that for you either. Because with Jesus, everyone needs him and everyone's accepted. So Joe's not going to be saying that, and never has. He never will. He doesn't want that. Fine. And if you want to just go do drugs, be real careful, but I ain't your guy. I'm the one telling you, you go down that road, the bridge is out, it's a dead end, and you're going to drop into something bad. But you're watching this. So what do? Okay, here's the deal. Pump the brakes. Don't do the drugs. Start calling out on Jesus, because when he does show up, there's a real relationship that is more satisfying than the drugs, because even his love that I experience now as I'm talking to you, that's the only reason I'm talking to you, is because I know that Jesus is real and better than the drugs. And you have to develop a relationship for yourself. You read his word, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, just the words in red, or listen to him on the internet. The words of Jesus, and let him talk with you. He is a spirit. He is the one true living spirit. There's only two spirits operating in the universe. One's Jesus, the other, all are not. They're the enemies. So talk with God. Talk to him like a friend. Give him your hurts, your thoughts, your desires, your disappointments, and let him reason with you. And know that it's kind of like a little acorn with these trees, oak trees. They start off small, but if you let them grow, if you let him root in you and grow in you, you can be a strong tree of, you can have a strong relationship with Jesus that's transformative, so that the more you get of them, the better you feel and the cleaner you get, and the more lucid you become, and bad habits get washed out, and there's hope in even dire situations, and then there's miracle signs and wonders, which are a lot of fun. And so there you go. Joe Rogan, Jesus, and DMT. Don't do it. He's a comedian. He can be funny, but be careful. He's not there to help you get to know Jesus at all. He's against him. DMT ain't your friend. It's not the quick, easy pass. It's really more like when you break into someone's house. You can get in, doesn't mean you belong there, and it doesn't mean there aren't consequences and repercussions. And then there's Jesus, who basically, it's I love you. And the cross is an indication of how much. And it's going to, not saying like, ooh, you're bad. It's more of an indication of that's how valuable you are. And then the cross is also a restoration into a fullness of joy that can only come by his Spirit. And once you get that, you ain't going to be disappointed. So that's my rant for today. Got questions, hit me up. Got answers, as long as you play nice, I'll listen. And, talk to you guys later. Have a great one. Bye-bye.